Aaron Rodgers come out with an answer. So this is awesome. It's awesome because, as I've said, this might be a very effective way to clear your mind, to cleanse your mind. We have a lot of mental clutter these days. We are constantly on our phones, and so we are attached to these inanimate objects that feed us via algorithms the things that they know we need in our brain or we want in our brain. We get the dopamine trip all the time. There's a great Netflix documentary about this, that the programmers of our apps and our phones know exactly the rhythm of when and what to feed us so that we're addicted. We're hooked up to the drip. So you scroll TikTok, or you scroll Instagram, or you scroll Facebook, or you scroll Twitter, and they have made sure they've streamlined this thing so that at the pace that your brain wants it, you keep getting the cocaine. Check your Instagram algorithm. You know exactly what you've been searching. You know exactly what you like. Instagram's algorithm, when you go to the Explore page, knows you better than you know you. That's all of your desires right there. That's all of your most honest desires are your Instagram Explore page.
Mine's ugly.
Everybody's is ugly. You know, it's whatever you're addicted to is in that thing.
A lot of pizza and bikinis. Danielle wasn't happy when she grabbed my phone.
It knows. So, yes, cluttered mind, cluttered brain. You get away, you find space. I try to do this by leaving my phone back home sometimes and going for a hike, going for a run, just knowing that I can't then check my text, check Twitter, whatever. So I understand that element of this, and that's certainly a healthy thing for us all to do, to quote, unplug. The thing is, when people truly seek the truth, clarity, mental wellness, solitude, silence, what they don't often do is yell to everybody what they're doing. Guys, I'm going to the darkness. I'm really going to find myself. It's going to be awesome. And Rodgers is so funny because he fancies himself as an intellect. He fancies himself as some type of maybe spiritual guru, or in touch with his thoughts, in touch with his mind, in touch with all these things, human behavioral stuff. But, if he was a real mystic, if he was truly wise, he wouldn't have to tell anybody what he's doing. He would just go do it. I always say, if anybody's going to tell you how generous they are, they're not that generous. The people that give away the most money, that do the most things for people, never tell anybody about it. The people that have the most mental clarity don't actually tell a national audience, guess what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do, and it's really going to help. So this whole thing is so silly, but it's so on brand for Aaron Rodgers. And I think the Packers are done. I think they want to move on, but there's a very delicate dance they need to do, because Rodgers says $60 million coming to him this year potentially. And they know that he's kind of got to lead the way. This is the same way you have to trick your 3-year-old into eating vegetables. No, you really like this. No, last time you had this, you liked it. No, last time you remember we had it at that other place. We had it at Grandma's house. Then you really liked it. Right? You have to let them think they're leading the way.
Danielle has the same speech to me and Taylor at the dinner table.
So the Packers have to let Aaron Rodgers think he's leading the way, but they're hoping he comes to the conclusion, let me go. Because the Packers have a perfect break point right now. They're coming off a disappointing season. They've got Jordan Love going into year number 4. Nobody in Green Bay is like, we got to run it back. We got to run it back. And I think the Rodgers thing finally, even for the most loyal Rodgers fans, has gotten tired. That's my sense. And I know we're on a lot of affiliates in Wisconsin. I hear a lot from Packers fans quite a bit in my timeline. It feels to me, and I know a few people in the Green Bay and Milwaukee media, it feels to me that there has now become a bit of a, okay, I think we're done here. And I think, I could be mistaken, but I think part of this is if you're going to deal with Aaron Rodgers' idiosyncrasies, I'll say that politely, he better deliver when it matters. And MVPs are great, but if he stinks in the playoffs, what's the difference? And you can't ignore this fact. And look, I've loved watching Aaron Rodgers. And there's a part of me that just loves the Packers, as you might imagine. I love the tradition of the Packers. I love Lambeau. It's why I wanted to go this year. I just love everything about the history and the uniforms and the stadium and the Lombardi and all of that. That's something that hits very close to my heart, even though I'm not a, quote, Packers fan. But no matter what it is, no matter how beautiful it is to watch Rodgers throw a pass or throw a touchdown or run, against his body and wing it 60 yards downfield, his postseasons for the last 4 years have been a disaster, or at least when it mattered most. NFC Championship game 2019 in San Francisco. It's a blowout into the first quarter. And yes, the Packers can't stop a nosebleed in that, and the Niners are running all over them, but Rodgers is a disaster in that game. It's a blowout. By halftime, the game's over. They were the 2 seed that year. The next year, they're the 1 seed, and they take on Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers at Lambeau. And what happens? Aaron Rodgers comes up lame again, and it's Brady who makes more plays than Rodgers, and even Rodgers' coach doesn't necessarily trust him in the waning seconds to make a play. Another bad performance by him in a huge spot in an MVP season. Next year, another MVP. Home field advantage, number 1 seed. Back-to-back number 1 seeds. Home game at Lambeau. Doesn't score an offensive touchdown. They lose to Garoppolo and a special teams score with the Niners. He's terrible. And then this year, at home, in Lambeau, winning in against the Lions. Lions have nothing to play for. Rodgers stinks. If you're going to deal with the Rodgers of the McAfee show every Tuesday, calling out what the coach should do publicly, calling out players and who should sit and who should start, being prickly with young wide receivers, well, then he better deliver when it matters. He's not doing that either. So I think that the Packers would love to wash their hands, boom. But you got to let him believe that he's leading things. So you let him go into this cave. He gets to go to Howe Caverns. He sleeps in there for 4 days. Please leave your phone at the front rock. Just leave us with your emergency contacts in case something happens. Bring an airline pillow. It's kind of cold and dank in there. The floor is kind of hard. No windows will be open, so when you come out, you look like a mole coming out of a hole. Okay? And so then Rodgers appears like Puxatawny Phil in 4 days. Whether he's seen his discount double check will let us know whether he's going to play again.
David Bakhtiari with the top hat pulling him out.